Welcome back to my channel, and today we're diving into something absolutely legendary. Ozzy Osbourne's Back to the Beginning farewell concert that just went down at Birmingham's Villa Park. This wasn't just a concert, folks. This was heavy metal history in the making. Before we talk about it, here's the thing about farewell concerts. They're usually bittersweet affairs, where you're watching legends limp to the finish line. Think about some of the most famous final shows in rock history. The Beatles' rooftop concert was legendary, but lasted only 42 minutes before the police shut it down. Cream's 1968 farewell at Royal Albert Hall was emotional, but felt rushed. Even Black Sabbath's own The End tour in 2017 was missing something crucial: drummer Bill Ward. But Ozzy's Back to the Beginning concert, this was different. This was the most epic retirement party in music history. And I'm not being hyperbolic here. This wasn't just Ozzy saying goodbye. This was a 10-hour celebration featuring the biggest names in metal and rock. We're talking about Metallica, Guns N' Roses, Slayer, Tool, Pantera, Anthrax, Alice in Chains, Hailstorm, Lamb of God, and more. Jason Momoa hosted the entire event. And let me tell you, seeing Aquaman in the mosh pit during Pantera's set was something I never knew I needed. The guy literally called it the most epic day in the history of heavy metal. At the concert, the emotional weight was real. And I mean that in every sense. Ozzy is 76 years old, battling advanced Parkinson's disease, and had to perform from a throne because of his mobility issues. But here's what blew me away. His voice was absolutely perfect. Sharon Osbourne wasn't kidding when she said he'd been taking singing lessons throughout his health struggles. The original Black Sabbath lineup reunited for the first time in 20 years. Tony Iommi, Geezer Butler, Bill Ward, and Ozzy together again, closing out their legacy in their hometown of Birmingham. When they performed War Pigs, N.I.B, Iron Man, and Paranoid, there wasn't a dry eye in the house. Let me break down some of the standout moments that made this concert superior to every other farewell show. Jack Black's Mr. Crowley performance was absolutely brilliant. The guy nailed Ozzy's vocal style perfectly, that wistful, whine-like croon that made the original so haunting. And he did it with Tom Morello's son Roman and Scott Ian's son Revel. Talk about passing the torch. Lizzie Hale from Hailstorm was the only woman on the bill, and she absolutely destroyed it. Her version of Perry Mason was raw and powerful, and later backing up with Nuno Bettencourt and Jake E. Lee on Ultimate Sin was pure magic. Speaking of Nuno Bettencourt, this guy might have offered the most impressive guitar playing of the entire day. Watching him back Dave Draymond on Sweet Leaf was like watching a masterclass in metal guitar work. One of the most exciting moments featured Tool's Danny Carey, Red Hot Chili Peppers' Chad Smith, and Blink-182's Travis Barker in a drum-off during Symptom of the Universe. This wasn't just three great drummers playing, this was three legends from different eras of rock and metal representing different styles, all paying homage to the band that started it all. Okay, now let's talk about why this concert stands above every other farewell show in music history. 1. The lineup was unprecedented. While the band's Last Waltz in 1976 featured legends like Bob Dylan, Van Morrison, and Eric Clapton, it was still essentially a folk rock event. Ozzy's farewell brought together the entire metal and hard rock family tree. This wasn't just a concert, it was a genre celebrating its founding fathers. 2. The emotional authenticity. Unlike Kiss's endless farewell tours that started in 2000 and are still going, or The Who's multiple final tours, this felt real. Ozzy's health issues made it clear this truly was the end. There was no cynical cash grab here, just a genuine goodbye. 3. The production value. Elton John's Glastonbury farewell was spectacular, but it was still one performer with guest stars. This was an entire day of metal's biggest names, each bringing their A-game. The production value was off the charts. This was Live Aid for metal. 4. The cultural impact. Frank Sinatra's 1971 retirement concert was historic, but it was the end of one era. This was the end of the era that created heavy metal itself. Black Sabbath literally invented the genre, and this concert acknowledged that cultural impact in a way no other farewell show ever has. The final bow. When Black Sabbath closed the show, it wasn't dark or dangerous, it was joyful. After decades of being associated with darkness and controversy, seeing the band surrounded by family, friends, and fans was beautiful. The confetti, the fireworks, the tearful goodbyes, it was the perfect ending to an incredible journey. What did you think of the concert? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more music reviews and analysis. Until next time, keep rocking.